Namaste, welcome to Tummy.com, a platform for yoga teachers and yoga teachers in training to be able to build sequences and also helping them to assist in teaching. This is the second part of Gentle Yoga Against the Wall for raw beginners. In the first part, we spoke about what gentle means in this sequence. We learned about standing poses done against the wall and why it was included in the sequence. This part, we will be talking about sitting poses after having stretched, warmed up the body and performed two poses like Virabhadrasana 1 and Parshvottanasana. We begin the sequence with a pranayama technique called as Dirgha Pranayama, which involves three-part breathing. But if students find tough doing such a kind of breathing, they can always do normal breathing. And as yoga teachers, focus on their breathing and see if they're doing their breathing the right way. Also, by analyzing this, you get to know how much work needs to be done on that particular student. This is followed by Sukhasana hugs and twist, where the student sits a bit away from the wall and hugs himself or herself by wrapping the arms around the shoulders and twisting the torso to the left and right. Now, twists in standing poses is different from twists done while sitting. So, understanding this basic difference helps in self-awareness. This pose also teaches students to express self-gratitude. The next pose is Baddha Konasana with arms behind, where the student's back is resting on the wall and the feet is together. The student flaps the thighs along with continuously breathing. When doing this, students realize that their thighs can flap like a butterfly and they feel overwhelmed on doing this. So that small realization makes them feel happy. If you have noticed till now, the set of sitting asanas resemble the set of standing asanas. Like we started with focus on breathing in Tadasana, followed by warm-ups. And we're doing the same when sitting down, like we started with Dirgha Pranayama. So sequences can be built like this also. It need not be that every pose has to be unique. It can be working on the same areas and stretching the same muscles, but in two different postures. Next, we go on to doing cradle pose, where the bent leg is held by the arms and rocked like a baby. It's a great way to stretch the hips, hamstrings, and also open the pelvic region. Moving on to Kundalini circles, where the clockwise and anti-clockwise movement of the torso helps in massaging the tailbone, also helps in digestion, which is one of the most common problems in majority of the students, irrespective of age. The next pose is Baddha Konasana with arms behind. And now you will think, why is it that we're repeating this pose? Some of the poses have been added so that it becomes a preparatory pose for the next pose. Because the next pose is Baddha Konasana, forward bend with arms under the leg. The student from Baddha Konasana takes the arms forward, bends forward and rests the arms under the legs. The objective here is not to touch the feet or to touch the ground, but only to feel the stretch in the lower back and hamstrings. And most of the times, a forward bend does not come naturally to everyone, and it might be challenging for some of the students. So you could ask them to place a bolster below the bent legs and then bend forward. Here the lower back has the support of the wall to ensure the student doesn't lift the base off the ground. So if you see, the use of wall and props have very basic purposes but have great benefits. The next pose is Marichya Asana, one variation performed on the left and right side of the body. In this pose, the student is sitting facing the wall with legs stretched against the wall. So understanding how you can use the wall, either support it with the back or support the leg on the wall, different ways of uses of the wall can help you. Because this is a twist pose, it works on the flow of prana along the spine. Now, we as teachers know this knowledge, but our students who are beginners might not understand such deep concepts and might not be able to relate to it. So they just need to focus on how their spine is feeling while twisting it. Moving on to the next pose, which is Sahajanavasana. The student from Dandasana enters into Sahajanavasana, where the torso takes the support of the wall at shoulder level. So it becomes easier for them to do something like this. But even though we have the wall, the student's breathing speed increases because this pose works on the core. Next, when the student releases this pose and comes to Dandasana, which is a transition pose, and goes into Dvipada Pavan Muktasana, they will find it very relaxing. When their eyes are closed, and that increased speed of breathing is the first thing that they will notice, and that will help in calming their mind and also their breath. The next counter pose is Sukhasana, forward bend, done while facing the wall and the arms resting on the wall. The forward bend opens up the lower back, chest, shoulders and the neck. So it keeps that slight activation intact in the students. We have come to the concluding section of the practice with Dirgha Pranayama done again, and then sitting in Sukhasana with Dhyana Mudra, where the focus is to get the mind and body to feel the breath. It's a meditation practice, and in this second part of the sequence, we have taken the focus from self-awareness a step further to gentle meditation. Lastly, we end the session with Setu Bandha Sarvangasana variation with straight legs at the wall. This is a cool down asana where the student rests the entire body on the ground and surrenders the body to relaxation. The legs are extended and placed a few steps off the ground on the wall. Now, if the students find it difficult to raise the legs, you could ask them to do a simple Shavasana, or you could also ask them to place a bolster below the calf muscles, assisting them in this relaxation pose. The students are beginners, so they need to be explained how important Shavasana, completely surrendering yourself, is important. So we have understood till now what is gentle yoga, what are the simple yet important points of this sequence. But still, if you feel you're stuck in building a gentle yoga sequence or any sequence as a matter of fact, develop a theme. And by theme, what we mean to say is, like in this sequence, we had standing asanas and sitting asanas, beginning with breathing, followed by warm-ups and then performing the asana. We also had our first part focus on body awareness, and the second part focus on body awareness along with stress on breathing to Dirgha Pranayama and Dhyana Mudra. So that was our theme for this sequence. Take inspiration from this and make a totally different sequence. You could start with poses while sitting, moving on to poses on the knee and then standing. You could change the entire flow of poses. Give some time to your thoughts on the theme and then develop a sequence around it. Now, that being said, add it to the comment section below and we will provide our feedback. And if you have any doubts with regard to the information we are providing, with regard to any facts that we are giving to you, please drop in your queries and we will be glad to answer them. Think of innovative ways to teach your students because you want your students to enjoy every session of your class. Now, we would like to share a review by our user named Jessie, sharing her experience with us. Lastly, stay tuned for more videos on gentle yoga. Subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss out on new videos as and when they're added. And thank you very much.